Hello, Year 7, and parents and carers of Year 7. Welcome to our Bingley Grammar School launch evening for all folks to do with Year 7. So by now, everybody should have started to settle in a little bit and starting to sort of know just how Bingley Grammar School works and the community ticks along nicely together. Firstly, let me introduce myself. I am Simon Greening and I am the Raising Standards Leader for Year 7. And essentially my role is to help every Year 7 student be the best they can be here at BGS. My aim is to support every student in their learning and to ensure that all students make the best progress possible. So yeah, the image there of a launch, it really is Year 7 launching their Bingley Grammar School careers for the next 5 or hopefully 7 years. In terms of our approach here at Bingley Grammar School, we really are about these three things here. We want every student to feel safe, to be safe, obviously, but to feel safe, to be happy, and to feel happy. And we feel very strongly that put those two to combine together, along with the opportunities and the skill and expertise here at Bingley Grammar School, should really allow every student in Year 7 the chance to be well educated and allowed the best they can be as they develop throughout Year 7, 8, and beyond. And in terms of our fundamental aims, it's obviously belong, grow, and succeed. We want everybody in Year 7 to be successful. We want everybody in Year 7 to always try their best. And we have the same for our staff. We set ourselves high standards. Hopefully I set myself high standards, and all Year 7, we want them to all buy into that idea of setting themselves very, very high standards and feeling that they belong to our school community, that they really want to be part and will grow in our school community, and obviously will succeed as they make their way through Year 7 into Year 8 and onto their GCSEs, A levels, and general school careers. So please, parents and carers, please rest assured we are a friendly, we are a safe, and we are a happy school. Students are at the very core of what we do, and that is our starting point for all decisions at our school, whether major strategic ones or day-to-day ones. It's all about what will allow our students in Year 7 in this case, but obviously in the other years, to succeed. And given all that, we really do want to create the very, very best climate for learning here at Bingley Grammar School, so our students really do seize all the opportunities they have here and allow them to succeed as they move forward. So as well as myself as Raising Standards leader, we've also got for Year 7, and I'll introduce, you will have seen these names, I'm sure, in correspondence. You may have met these people as well, but just in case, let me start with showing you who our behavioural and pastoral team are for Year 7. So first of all, we've got Mr. Booth, Mr. Robert Booth. He's our Associate Assistant Head Teacher, and he has responsibility for behaviour, character, and culture in both Year 7 and 8. So he'll be kind of working alongside Mrs. Roberts, Mrs. Adele Roberts. She is the head of Key Stage for Year 7 and 8, and she is going to be very much hands-on. She isn't a teacher. She's got full-time responsibility for behaviour and pastoral for Year 7 and 8. And she is supported and aided by Miss Ellen McGee, who's our student support officer dedicated for Year 7. And she really will be working closely with all our Year 7 students. If you do have a question, if you do have a query, Miss McGee and Mrs. Roberts in particular will be there on hand. And if you look there, we've got their emails, adele.roberts@bingleygrammar.org and ellen.mcgee@bingleygrammar.org. They are your first points of reference. So by now I'm putting this presentation together, I'm very conscious that Year 7 are a week and some into their Bingley Grammar School careers, and they will already know roughly how the school works. But parents and carers, you might be thinking, oh, I'm not too sure myself. So first of all, let's have a look at the timetable. BGS operate a 2-week timetable. So that is, we have an A week and a B week. So we've just got to the end of our B week, because I'm recording this on Friday, the 17th of September, and we're going to be working into next week, our A week. Every Wednesday on a B week, we have an early finish at 2:10. This allows for some staff training. Again, it seemed to go well this week, so hopefully the Year 7s have got their head around that early finish and so forth. Every day, the students in Year 7 have a 20-minute time break, and they have a 30-minute lunch break. I've been working with the Year 7s, and queues at lunch and break again much smaller, so students are able to get their food and still leave plenty of time for socialising and relaxing before heading into their afternoon lessons. In terms of the end of the school day, we allow Year 7 to go a little bit earlier than the other school year groups. So they depart at 2:40, so they're not getting bundled over by the older ones. And also they can sort of arrive in good time for school buses or trains or lifts home, or however they make their way home. And again, looking at that, it's gone well so far. I'm super proud of how Year 7 have conducted themselves so far. It's been brilliant. And finally, the old lanyards. Lanyards with the badges for identification, they've been handed out. Please make sure the Year 7 students wear these. Obviously essential for safeguarding, so we know which students are in which year and we can sort of keep a track very quickly. And obviously also allows for students to pay for their lunches and so forth. In terms of key dates, there's many key dates, but I've picked out a few that I think will be really important for parents and carers for students of Year 7. First of all, we have the Cognitive Abilities Test, sometimes known as CATS tests. This is happening towards the end of September, and these will be lessons done within lesson times. We've got a gentle approach. We're not putting a huge emphasis upon them for Year 7, but what we do need to do is just kind of get our head around really well where our Year 7 students are at, and comparing that to some of the information we've got from primary schools, and it just allows us to sort of work with our Year 7 audience to make sure we've got them in the right lessons and on the right timetables. On Monday, the 18th of October, we've got school photos, so everyone needs to be looking smart for that. And then during October, we've got the engagement with learning. This will be the first report, and we will aim to get that out before October half term. And essentially, it's not a judgment about progress or scores. It's just a judgment about how enthusiastic, I suppose you could say, the students of Year 7 are in terms of engaging with their learning. And then we've got on Tuesday, the 16th of November, a parents' evening for Year 7. That's Tuesday, the 16th of November. More details on how to book appointments and make arrangements will become clear soon. And then on the week commencing the 29th of November, we've got some in-class assessments. Again, once those in-class assessments have been carried out and then marked and processed by the school, will be reported home on those, and you get an idea then of how the Year 7 students are settling in and doing in all their different lessons. And then we've got another engagement of learning score going out in March, and then another in-class assessment on the week commencing the 9th of May. And finally, on the Tuesday, the 21st of June, Parents' Evening Part 2. So you can, if you like, get an initial settling in Parents' Evening in November, and then a summation of the year over in June. So yeah, it is a busy year. There will be other dates coming and will be publicised, but for me, at the moment, those are some of the key dates you, as parents and carers, will be no doubt interested in. In terms of then lots of support in lessons, we use class charts. Please, as parents, you should have had an email allowing you to log on and track your Year 7 student. This allows you to see things like positives and rewards, what homeworks have been set, and sometimes any other issues of a behaviour that may have been raised by the class teacher, and discussions can be kind of had as a result. All students in Year 7 have a Gmail account, and it would be really helpful tools if you would sit down with the Year 7 students and make sure that they can access that. And we do that, but from your end, it's really useful as well. And then we have Hegarty Maths, which is an amazing maths resource, and the maths department use this as their main homework tool for students in Year 7 and beyond. Likewise, in science, Educate is an effective homework tool for science. And again, all students should be able to sort of should be able to access these resources, which will really support their learning as they go forward into Year 7 and beyond. In terms of wider key staff, I need to draw your attention to the other staff that most of you probably won't have much to do with, but just in case issues do arise during the year. We've got Mr. Atkinson, assistant head, but he is also the designated safeguarding lead. Mr. Ward here, Mr. Robin Ward, deputy designated safeguarding lead, and then Mrs. Rawlins, lead student support officer, and she also has responsibility for safeguarding. So they are our safeguarding team within Bingley Grammar School. There are other folks, obviously, who have lots of safeguarding skills, but they are the principal three folks that students need to know about, and we have that well signposted and communication about that around the school. Mr. Padden works with our looked after children and is a senior student support officer. Mrs. Robinson is our special educational needs coordinator, and she works with her team in the Achievement Centre. And one of her team is Mrs. Mathers Riley, who's one of our learning support assistants with specialists in autism, communication, and interaction. Again, these are some of the folks who will no doubt be working with students of Year 7 this year. So really then, to bring it all back, for me, Year 7, it's brilliant to have you all here. It's been brilliant to see what a wonderful start you've made through September. It's 2021. I am so excited to see how people progress into 22 and even beyond. I can't wait to see over the next 3, 4, 5 years how folks essentially use all the opportunities that this school offers and, in essence, belong, grow, and succeed. Well, that's enough for me. I look forward to seeing you all at Parents' Evening and so forth. Please, any queries, do not hesitate to get in touch, and thank you for listening.
Good evening. As the slide says, my name is Mr. Atkinson, and I look after behaviour, character and culture here at Bingley Grammar School. And my role is to work with the pastoral team, ensuring we're consistent in our approach for behaviour, character and culture. And what that means, in its most basic sense, is that each year group has something they're known for, so they belong, grow, succeed while here. For example, in Year 7, this year it's commitment, dedication, and a positive attitude will help you reach your potential. At Year 8, let's be inspired to stay positive, work hard, and make it happen. In Year 9, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Year 10, aiming high, working hard, never giving up. And in Year 11, high standards, high grades. This, I said, had been created by the pastoral team, and it's something they come back to in their assemblies each week, therefore reminding the students what it is we're aiming towards. This is also underpinned by the key skills of leadership, organisation, resilience, initiative and communication, which stands for LORIC, which is an essential part of our award system here at Bingley Grammar School. Overall, this can be broken down into this one slide. It basically means being ready to learn every morning, on time, fully equipped and in perfect uniform, engaged and learning in every lesson, a positive, appropriate behaviour at all times, and 97% attendance, minimum. And realistically, over these next slides, I'll break that down in more detail for you. So first and foremost, that uniform that's talked about. We get frequently asked questions about this, and it's something I released to all parents in July and again in September. On the left here, we have the black shoes that are allowed, or trainers. And on the right, they're not allowed. And as you can see very clearly what is and what isn't. And then also as well, trousers, leggings, not jeans. Yet again, some pictures to help support you. And one thing I will say is, and sometimes we get an awful lot, is parents say to us, well, my child said that everybody else is wearing them. I can assure you they're not. There's 330 students in a year group, and there might be 2 or 3, but not 330. And if you're ever unsure before you buy a uniform, get in contact with the pastoral team. I know some people even send in pictures. Absolutely fine, and we'll just make sure that we've got the right uniform and we're set, ready for that new year. Other things, equipment, the pens, the pencils, the rulers. Very, very important, because without them, we can't do the learning. Yes, we can lend people, but we don't want to be doing that every single lesson. We want them to have that responsibility for their possessions. If you want to buy, for example, a calculator, we can do this through our school shop on Parent Pay. And it's the same with the lanyards and ID badge. This must be worn at all times. Massive safeguarding feature, because realistically it identifies who they are. And also, most importantly, it gets them through the lunch queue quicker. So therefore, all these things are essential and are available through Parent Pay. And finally, attendance. As you can see from this graphic, 95% attendance would actually equal 9.5 days lost per year. That's nearly 2 weeks of education. It might sound great when you go 95% attendance. That's amazing. In a test, if I got 95%, wow, awesome. But actually, when you think about it in terms of attendance here at school, that does have an impact. Then look at 90%. That's 19 days. So therefore, if there are any barriers to learning, what we ask is that you do get in contact with us, because we want to work with you to get rid of those barriers. Those barriers could be anxiety. It could be something to do with the well-being. It could be that having struggled with the buses and organisation. Yet again, these are all things we can help with. We will contact you when attendance does drop below some of these key figures. Some of those letters will come out, and it might just be a nudge letter. It might just be, contact us if there's anything that we're not aware of. And that is key. Please stay in contact with us. So, talking of contact, we use class charts and rewards. Hopefully, your son or daughter's front screen looks a lot like this one. If you're unsure what I'm talking about, please contact james.vasey@bingleygrammar.org, and he'll be able to give you your login. We have sent these out a couple of times, so just be aware that it is in your email. As I said, contact james.vasey. We use these for our reward systems. And we do public rewards, okay, for example, chocolate. I know it's not the healthiest thing, but it's what the students like. And so therefore we use that as part of our reward system. Another part is we send home certificates. We used to give these to the students in their hands. Unfortunately, unlike primary school, parents, you're not checking the bags. Or sometimes the child hasn't got a big enough bag to fit the A4 certificate in. Therefore, we send these home so you can celebrate with them at home. So look out for those over the coming months and over the coming terms, okay, as we move forward. And in terms of giving that good news, we give those verbal rewards. The next step is that class charts reward, which you will see when it goes ping, okay, on your mobile phone. And as I said earlier, leadership, organisation, resilience, initiative and communication are the key facts we look for. The other aspect is the postcard of praise. We're bringing that back this year, so it might be they bring home a postcard. This fits in their pocket, so do check their trousers, do check their blazers if they're not showing you those postcards. Yet again, put it on the fridge, and I always say to the students, is that worth a Costa coffee? Is that worth a McDonald's? Is that worth a trip out? Bit of bribery, but also as well, it's about celebrating together, celebrating that success. Yet again, like I said, it's all linked into this, and I keep going back to this because these are the key skills we want our students to leave with. There are times, though, where we'll have to deliver the bad news, and that starts with a choice. We give the students a choice to change that behaviour. The next step after that, if they're not making that choice, is to have a conversation with a member of staff. This is very, very powerful, and this is in their own time. And the point of this is that they rebuild that relationship together. And therefore, for the next lesson, things are being corrected and we're ready to learn. Finally, there may be detentions issued. Yet again, these are on different nights through the week, but I'm not going to dwell on that because that is a minority here at Bingley Grammar School. So, further questions. Mobile phones. Year 7 to 9, mobile phones are not allowed out during the school day. Before and after school, absolutely fine. Year 10 and 11, out at break and lunch. If we find them out at other times, we will confiscate those mobile phones and they go to the year team and picked up at the end of the day. For persistent, okay, we will ask parents to come and pick those up. We don't believe mobile phones need to be out unless in direction of a teacher to do some work potentially. Also, maturity levels at year 7 to 9, we've found that are not quite there for using them responsibly. And that comes onto social media. We really ask that you monitor your son and daughter's use of it at home. We want them to focus on their education, not what was being posted online the previous evening. We don't want it to distract them, or worse still, affect their well-being. I'm sure you've seen the news talking about social media and the effect that it has. So therefore, there's a couple of links here that you'll be able to access on these slides, because obviously this presentation is live here now, or pre-recorded, but realistically as well, you'll be able to access these slides and therefore use the links and take them forward and have a look at this if you're unsure about how your son and daughter are using social media. And if well-being is affected, we've got a number of routes here at school that we can help support your son or daughter. The internal route, where it says SSO, that's our student support officer. And they might have a one-to-one, a small group, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, where they can come and talk with that member of staff. It might be Mr. Padden or Mrs. Rawling becomes involved for further support, or it might be a signpost for routes 1 and 2. Essential though to this is you being in contact with us. If you've got a worry, let us know. Contact the year teams, contact the pastoral teams so they are aware, and then we can work together to support your son or daughter. As I said, it might be us or it might be others, but we can point in the right direction. One of those directions is Couth. This is an NHS website, so please don't be worried about it. It's sponsored by them. Within this, there are chat rooms, there are sponsored counsellors on there as well, where they can post questions. As I said, don't worry about this website. This is the one where social media, yes, use this. Because it might be they're not ready to talk yet. And actually, going on this, they find it easier and then they might want to talk later. So yet again, another link for you there and how we can support well-being. But please do get in contact if there's any problems or worries. And finally, I come to shaping the school and that belong, grow, succeed. We want the students to help shape our school. And through that, we have year group councils and whole school council. And this will be advertised in the next coming weeks. And by October, we'll have our year group council set up. And therefore, then they'll feed into the whole group council and we can shape how the school develops in the future. So overall, if you've got any questions from tonight's presentation, please sign up to or speak to a member of staff using the email link sent last week. And we'll speak to you about any questions that you may have, okay, or any worries that you may have. As I said, please keep in contact with us. Please keep us informed. And I thank you very much for listening tonight. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you very much for downloading this Year 7 launch evening presentation about maths. My name is Dave Morrissey. I'm one of the leaders of maths here at Bingley Grammar School, particularly accountable for Year 7, 8 and 9. And today I'll be talking you through our Year 7 curriculum, as well as our expectations for home learning and how we can ensure that students make the most progress at home as well as in the classroom. Now, at times, if you've got any questions after this presentation or throughout the year, then please don't hesitate to contact your classroom teacher, or you can contact me with my email address on the screen there. There might also be times where you come into contact with Jessica Sands, who is our Year 7 curriculum lead and our White Rose Maths Hub lead. So once again, any questions at all, please do not hesitate to email. We mentioned there that Jessica Sands is Bingley Grammar's White Rose Maths Hub ambassador. And that is because we follow the White Rose Maths scheme of learning during Year 7 and Year 8. On screen there is the Year 7 scheme of learning. detailing what topics they'll learn and when. Now, the reason that Bingley Grammar School we've gone for the White Rose Maths scheme is because we share a very clear view on how maths should be taught and how students can make the most progress within their lessons. Together we help every child to understand, enjoy and succeed in maths, and we do this by developing a thorough understanding. By truly understanding each maths concept and by mastering learning one step at a time, everyone can do maths. Everyone can. Now, whilst we use a whole host of fantastic resources from White Rose Maths and other areas, we've also made sure that the learning journey is bespoke to each student within Bingley Grammar School. And we've done this by putting together our own personal learning charts and checklists. This means we have a check-in to every unit, and they're based on Year 4, 5 and 6 primary school prerequisite knowledge. Through this, we'll be able to identify gaps and then fill them through varying levels of intervention, whether these will be within school or sometimes exercises set at home. For further information on White Rose Maths and to have a look at some of the resources, please have a look at that website on screen now. We've already mentioned a couple of times in this presentation about our expectations for home learning. Here I'm going to detail them and how Bingley Grammar School and Hegarty Maths work together to ensure your child thrives at home with their maths. At Bingley Grammar School we've been using Hegarty Maths for a number of years now, and we have had huge success through using it, both in enrichment and engagement at Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4, but also in outcomes when it comes to Key Stage 4 GCSE results. On screen now is a little bit of a background information about Hegarty Maths, and I'll let you read that. On screen there, you can see the Maths department at Bingley Grammar School's expectation for Year 7 and Year 8 homework, and the following slides will detail some of those more specifically. It's worth noting at this stage that all maths homework will be set online, and if there are any access issues, then please contact your class teacher, or you can contact me via email, and a relevant alternative can be found. So homework on Hegarty Maths is all online, and every task that is set has an extremely useful video that goes with it. The videos will have a number of will teach the topic, as well as giving fantastic examples that a student can do whilst pausing the video. Students then do a quiz, which will test them on the information that they've just watched. Tasks that have been set might be based on work that's been done recently in lessons, or might be based on work that's been done beforehand. One of the main things that we push at Bingley is that students do need to watch the video. They need to take notes of all the examples, making notes of the keywords, and answering the example questions. At times, students might be tempted, if they feel they know the material, to skip the video and not take clear notes. We really enforce the fact that students do watch the video and take notes. One, it's a good habit to be getting into, because later on during their time at Bingley, they will come across material that they aren't 100% on. Also, during the video, towards the end of the video, the examples often take a different, use different topics and show how one topic can be used with another. And by skipping this, students might skip out on important knowledge. It is worth noting at this point as well that each teacher, once they've set a piece of homework, they can see what percentage of the video has been watched by a student, and this includes it if a student skips ahead a bit and tries to be sneaky. Teachers can still see that they've only watched, let's say, 50-60% of the video. So students, please don't try it. The teacher can see what you're doing. Once the video has been watched and the notes and examples have been copied down, the students can access the quiz. The quiz will be directly related to the learning from the video, and students will copy the question and show their working out. At this point, it's worth noting that we still expect students to follow the school expectations on presentation, underline titles and underline headings where relevant. The only difference is that students might find, because there's a lot of individual note taking, that the use of colours or highlighters would be appropriate, or different colours, or writing in different colours might be appropriate for different parts of their work to stand out. And we would actively encourage that as long as it was done neatly. On the screen there is a student checklist that students should be looking at every week whilst they do their homework to make sure they're meeting our expectations. One of the best things about using Hegarty Maths for our homework is the fact that the support that parents can get from the videos is absolutely fantastic. If your student is stuck on their homework, encourage them to maybe watch the video again, or make sure they've copied the examples correctly. Also, below each task is a set of building blocks. These building blocks show prerequisite tasks that, if completed, might support them in being able to access the task that has been set. It's now that I'm asking you, as a parent, a favour. These comments on screen I've heard repeatedly at Parents' Evening and through other correspondence over the past 12-13 years. First one, that maths has changed since I was at school. Quite possibly, methods may have changed, the curriculum definitely has changed. However, these videos are a fantastic way of jogging your memory and maybe explaining how your child might have been taught it today. Secondly, is this I'm no good at maths. Now, your child may find maths at times tricky. There might be concepts that they don't quite understand and questions that they will struggle with. But a key aspect of maths is resilience and perseverance. Sometimes it can be too easy to make an excuse and to give up. At Bingley Grammar School, all teachers from all subjects will give positive reinforcement when maths crops up in the lessons. And I'm asking this from you for a favour at home as well, is that when you are talking about maths with your child, please don't refer to the fact that you might think you're not good at maths. Your experience of maths at school is something that I cannot change, but at Bingley Grammar School, we can make your child's experience of maths a positive one. So please, regardless of your opinion of maths, please speak about it in a positive manner. Thank you in advance. The next couple of slides are just going to give further details on why we really enforce I mentioned earlier that we've been using Hegarty Maths for a number of years now, and one of the reasons we still use it is because of the success that we've had with it. Now, last year at Bingley Grammar School, we found that students who did over 30 hours achieved on average nearly one grade above their target. Students that did between 20 and 30 hours over the whole year, so around about in year 11 an hour a week, they're still getting nearly a grade above their target. And you can see that decreases as they did less and less. Students that only did a little bit of Hegarty throughout the year, now they only averaged 0.1 grades above their target. Now, okay, you like to see they're still getting their target, but at Bingley Grammar School, we do aim to go above their nationally set targets. In a nutshell, Hegarty Maths works. And I'm really pleased to say that last year it was the first time we became a Hegarty Super School by answering over 750,000 questions. With Year 7 and 8 really setting fantastic foundations to take them into Key Stage 4. Throughout using HT Maths over the past few years, parents have been fantastically supportive and hugely positive about the difference it has made to their child's learning and to the support it offers them themselves. I hope that you find it extremely successful. But if you have any questions or queries or positive comments to share, please, once again, don't hesitate to email. Finally, I'll just leave you with a couple of slides with a checklist that can help you to help your child get into fantastic habits with their maths home learning. Thank you so much for downloading this presentation. I hope your child's start to Year 7 has been fantastic at Bingley Grammar School, particularly within their maths lessons, and I can't wait to meet you throughout the next 5-7 years. Goodbye. Thank you.